Greetings, my fellow airsoft nerds, and we're going to talk about sleeping. This is specific to sleep setups for Road to Kharkiv, which is a Milsim West event that they usually do around February at Hill 559 in Clovis, which is cold. I just did Operation Frostbite, which is like the field level game they do at Hill 559 at night, and this was in December of 2023. At night, it was like 30 degrees. It was like 33. At night, it was cold. It was really cold, like really, really cold. So let's talk about my sleep setup, why I have it the way it is, and yay. The first thing I throw on the ground is my bivy bag. This is nothing special. I just got this off of Amazon. If you look at some of my other Milsim West videos, it's the same bivy bag that I've had. It has a decent zipper setup, single zipper, and it does have cool little buttons in here. If you have a sleeping bag that has like little button setup, I do not have that. We're gonna keep rocking and rolling. The second part of my sleep setup, and the thing I will put in my bivy bag, is my sleeping pad. This is the Neo Switchback. I've had it for about maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. I got it at REI for like, I don't know, 60, 80 bucks, something like that. This thing is amazing. Again, I have done some this has been in other Milsim West videos. I recommend foam sleeping pads, not inflatable sleeping pads, because inflatable sleeping pads are subject to get shot and possibly torn. So, you know, on that. When you're at 559, you want to make sure you have as many layers in between you and the cold ass ground as humanly possible. If you just try and sleep on the ground, you're gonna get really cold because the earth gonna steal your body warmth and then your ass gonna get cold. I will take my sleeping pad and stuff it inside my bivy bag, blah blah blah, as such, all the way in here. This way I don't move off my sleeping pad, so this kind of keeps everything in one place for me. You can put this down first and then put your bivy bag on top of it. What you might do is roll off of it, and then that gets really uncomfortable. Again, Hill 559 ground is going to probably be pretty not that soft because it's going to be super ass cold, so I recommend a sleeping pad. Next on the list, my actual sleeping bag. This is my REI Hunker Down that I've had for, again, like 2 or 3 years. It's one of the bags that I always take with me to Milsim West. It is rated for 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I highly recommend this over taking a thin summer bag. So I did an experiment. I took my blue summer bag with me, which is another REI bag, which is thinner. I brought that to Hill 559 for the Frostbite because this plus my bivy bag will not fit in the sleeping bag compartment in my Osprey Rook 65. So I was like, hey, can I like condense this just for the sake of saving space? And let's check it out. Hell no. I'm taking this sleeping bag with me to Hill 559 for the Kharkiv event, and I'll just pack some extra stuff in my ruck. It won't be that bad. I highly, highly, highly recommend you take something that is like winter rated. If it's not at least like, I don't know, 30 degrees rated for cold or winter or whatever, you're gonna get fucking cold. The one downside to this sleeping bag is there are no like button attachments in here, so I can't clip this in and hook it up to my bivy bag. What that means is stuff can kind of move around and you get kind of tossed and turned in a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something to think about. The added layer that I will throw in, that I'll keep with me if I feel I need it, is the Kifaru Whoopee. This is double insulated. It's 180 bucks that I got used from my friend Alyssa. Thank you, girl. I brought this with me to Frostbite. I did a little sleep system check in the parking lot. This plus my summer REI sleeping bag, I was pretty good to go. I was pretty warm. Again, the only downside is because this stuff is all independent of each other, meaning it doesn't hook in as one modular unit. This especially is going to get wadded up. So it's especially when you're moving around. If you move around in your sleep a lot like I do, a lot of this is going to get wadded all the way up to basically your upper body, and it's going to leave your lower half kind of exposed. What I did as a workaround is this has this little pocket, which you're supposed to be able to like fold this shit up in this little thing. I don't know how to do that puzzle. So what I did was I stuck my foot in here, pushed it all the way down, and cinched it up. That way, at least this stays to my foot, and more or less this bag can cover more of my body consistently throughout the night than if I had just thrown it in there. Again, otherwise it's just gonna wad all up into your upper half. So again, your basic base layer is the regular sleeping bag, my REI Hunker Down. That is my base layer. My insulating layer is gonna be the Whoopee, and technically also this bivy bag. And then my bivy bag is also my outer layer. You can, if you want, consider the sleeping pad a thermal layer if you want, or a warming layer, or an insulating layer, depending on your definition or whatever term you want to use, because this is helping me maintain my body heat instead of it being sapped out from the cold ass ground. That is true. One of the things specific to a bivy bag you're going to want to be very careful of is, you see how it has sort of this little headspace in here? You could sort of cocoon yourself up and throw this over the top of your head. That's fine. This sleeping bag also has a little hood spot to it, which is cool. The downside is because this is, remember, this is waterproof and windproof to a degree. So if you throw this over your head, right, like in the middle of the night, and you're still breathing, your breath is gonna go right to where your bivy bag is, and it's gonna hang out there because it has nowhere to go, because it's a fucking waterproof layer, waterproof, windproof layer. So it's not like it's a one-way deal. So what's gonna happen is that breath is gonna stay there and fall back in your face, and you're kind of like, from your shoulder to your head area is gonna get wet with your own breath, plus probably some condensation also because of how cold it's gonna be outside, you know, cold and hot air and all that other sciencey ass bullshit. So what I recommend is, if you have a bivy bag or some sort of sleep setup where you have the ability to cover your face, first of all, don't, for the previously discussed reasons, and get a balaclava. I like the merino wool stuff. That's pretty good to go. And then also put a beanie on. I've got a merino wool beanie, or just any thick ass beanie will be fine. Because what that's gonna do is allow you to keep your face exposed without it getting cold. That's gonna be a big thing. So imagine, like, because that's one of the things that I forgot about when I went to Frostbite. From here down, toasty, good to go, like comfortable baked bread. Bro, I was snugging a bug in that little setup. The pain in the ass was my face, because I kept my face exposed. Even with just a regular hoodie on, this part of my, so like from basically about to my eyebrow down to my jawline was still cold. I mean, I had this cool little beard to keep me warm, but my face was still pretty cold. So throughout the night, I would consciously, subconsciously, whatever, throw this over my head and run into the same issue that I've had before. Like, oh no, it's raining. Oh, it's not raining. I just forgot to set my sleep system up appropriately, and also set myself up appropriately in the sleep system. What I will wear when I'm sleeping is basically what I was wearing for play that day. Base layer is just a standard tank top. I do have a moisture wicking tank top. I just grabbed this out of out of my apartment for just demonstration purposes. Then I have my faction shirt, which is can also be a base layer depending on what you do. Usually this is just sort of like a base. It's kind of like two base layers, I guess you could say, because with a tank top, your arms aren't really gonna stay warm, your armpits, all that stuff. So I got this guy. Then I will wear just my regular pants, just regular whatever uniform pants. A beanie. I don't wear this specific beanie. This is my Speed QB beanie. But again, for demonstration purposes, I have a beanie. I do not wear a jacket typically when I sleep, because of the sleep setup I just told you about, plus wearing regular clothes. You should be fine. Motherfucker. It's only gonna be about 30 degrees at the most, at its coldest. Stop being a bitch. On my feetsies, you can do like a hot water bottle down to your feet. You can do that. But then you're going to have to carry a bottle, and then you're going to have to heat up the water and blah, 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 blah. Usually you kind of just want something you can lay down in about 45 seconds and rack out for about 3-4 hours or however long it takes for you to get rated. What I do recommend are these thick-ass wool camping socks. I will usually wear moisture wicking socks, or if I can't find those or if I forget to bring them, a fresh pair of socks plus these on the outside to help keep my feet warm. Your feet are gonna get cold as shit. You ever been camping when it's cold out, you know your feet are freaking freezing. And that's it for sleeping. If you need any more gear than that to sustain you during the night, during sleeping, you're either too skinny or a fucking house cat.